The galaxy did not understand fear. Not truly.
Most alien races had fought wars for thousands of years, burned worlds, crushed weaker species, and claimed stars as trophies.
They believed they knew power. They believed nothing could surprise them anymore.
But tonight, every empire learned they were wrong.
Across the Orion Arm, alarms screamed inside alien warships. Red lights flashed. Radar screens shook. Data panels glitched. Even the strongest admirals felt something cold crawl under their skin. Something was coming. It moved through space like a shadow with weight. Engines made no sound. Sensors could not track it. Every ship it passed simply froze. At first, aliens thought it was a natural phenomenon. A cosmic wave. A gravity storm. Maybe the birth of a star. But then the reports arrived from different corners of the galaxy. Reports that matched perfectly. A single unknown object was entering occupied space. A warship. And it was heading straight toward the central trade lanes. Inside the command throne of the reptilian Krell Dominion, Admiral Thorsk reviewed the ghost signal. His claws tapped the metal rail as the image sharpened. A dark shape drifted out of the dead zone, a region known for killing every probe ever sent inside. Thorsk narrowed his eyes. What ship can travel inside a region with no light, no magnetic field, no life? A young officer swallowed. Admiral, the object is growing larger. Thorsk leaned forward. The shadow formed lines. Then patterns. Then a massive silhouette. A ship the size of a small moon. Its hull was black, but not true black. More like something absorbing the stars behind it. No alien metals matched it. No known engine design could move something so heavy without tearing space. Thorsk's voice cracked. This is not alien. Light years away, in the floating city of the Avati, the crystal-skinned aliens watched the same image. Their sensors detected something impossible. The unknown warship carried an energy signature that felt human. But humans were not known for such technology. Their fleet was small. Their ships were simple. They were the youngest of the starfaring races. And yet the evidence was clear. The ship coming out of the dead zone was from Earth. Still, no alien believed it, not truly. How could humans build a ship stronger than the empires that ruled for ages? But then the warship sent out its first sign. A pulse. Not a sound. Not a beam. A pulse of pure force that shook the void. Stars flickered. Engines stalled. Gravity twisted for 2 whole seconds. Entire armadas stopped mid-flight. The void held its breath. Far from the chaos, in the dark halls of the Mechan Collective, a cold machine empire, giant robotic minds ran thousands of calculations. Every result ended with the same message. Threat level, unknown. Probability of destruction if engaged, 99.7%. Machine warlords do not feel fear. But their metal cores dimmed in silence for the first time. Alien fleets across the galaxy entered defensive positions. Ships drew lines. Cannons charged. Missiles armed. Every commander knew the rule of survival. If something scares every empire at the same time, run. But it was too late for that. The warship was already passing the outer defense rings. It did not broadcast warnings. It did not send demands. It did not fire a single shot. It simply moved through space like a cold storm. When its hull caught the light of a nearby star, the galaxy finally saw the ancient markings on the side. Scratched, scarred, barely holding together. TSS Leviathan. Earth War Command. No one had ever heard this name. No record showed it. No human broadcast mentioned it. It was as if the ship had been erased from history. Yet here it was, alive, awake, returning from a place no species survived. On the bridge of the Zeleniar swarm, a tall insectoid commander tilted his head as he studied the readings. His voice trembled. This ship is older than our civilization. Older than the Dominion. Older than the Forge. Another officer clicked nervously. But humans, they are young. How can this be? The commander whispered. Maybe the humans did not build it alone. The Leviathan changed course. It began moving directly toward the heart of the galaxy. Every alien empire panicked. Messages shot through subspace. Do not fire. Do not approach. Stay out of its path. Let it pass or we all die. Never in galactic history had this many armies stood still. Never had so many warships avoided a single target.
Yet the Leviathan continued without slowing.
Silence spread like a plague. Alien hearts beat faster. Even the void around the ship looked unnatural, as if bending away from its presence. The galaxy had seen superweapons. It had seen planet burners, star crushers, black hole cannons. But this was something beyond all of that. The stars themselves seemed afraid of it. And the galaxy wondered, if this is only one human warship, what else is coming behind it? For the first time in centuries, the great alien empires agreed on one thing. They had never seen anything like the Leviathan. Every fleet, every outpost, every station focused its full power on scanning the Earth warship. Data beams crossed the void, bouncing off its strange hull. Waves of signals tried to map the structure. Advanced sensors pushed to their limits. But the results made no sense. Inside the Krell Dominion flagship, officers stared at the screen with wide eyes. The readings kept looping, breaking, and restarting. Admiral Thorsk growled. Why are the scans failing? Our systems can scan stars. They can read through black holes. Why not this ship? The sensor chief looked terrified. Admiral, the problem is not our system. The ship. It blocks everything. It reflects nothing. It gives nothing. It is like it refuses to be scanned. That word, refuses, sent a shiver through the room. Ships were not supposed to refuse. At the same time, deep in the crystal towers of the Avadi, golden lights danced across their scans. Their technology was elegant, delicate, able to see energy patterns other species could not. But even they failed.
The hull is absorbing our signals, said an Avadi elder, his crystal face dimming.
It drinks the energy we send.
Another elder whispered, this is not human metal.
It is something else.
The Avadi were peaceful, wise, calm.
Their voices were never loud. But now all of them spoke the same word. Impossible. The Mechan collective calculated endlessly. Their metal minds spoke in cold logic. Composition, unknown. Age, unknown. Origin, unknown. Threat level rising. For the first time, machine voices glitched. They did not like what they could not understand. Across the galaxy, a rumor began to grow. It spread from one fleet to another. Humans built a ghost ship. No. Humans found an ancient monster. No. Something else built it, and humans claimed it. But none of these rumors were right. And all of them were equally terrifying. Inside the Zelenar swarm, Command Leader Tron observed the strange ship through sharp insect eyes. His officers trembled as they watched its dark hull ripple with faint waves, like heat on stone. Tron whispered, this design is not human. Humans are bold, but not like this. A junior officer clicked nervously. Commander, perhaps it is stolen? Tron slowly turned his head. Do you know any species that can enter a dead zone and survive? The officer had no answer. Exactly, Tron hissed. Only one species ever returned alive from that place. He raised one long claw and tapped the warship image. Humans. As more fleets watched, the Leviathan drifted closer to a bright blue nebula. When the nebula's light hit the hull, something shocking happened. Hidden marks glowed faintly. Not symbols. Not words. Scars. Deep battle scars. Cuts across the armor the size of mountains. Cracks sealed with unknown material. Impact dents large enough to swallow a shuttle whole. The galaxy learned something terrifying. This ship had fought enemies that could wound something this massive. Enemies even the great empires had never faced. If the ship had survived battles like this, what kind of monsters had humans defeated out there? Then the impossible happened. The Leviathan's engines shifted. Not bright. Not loud. Not even visible. Just a soft ripple.
And the ship moved at a speed no alien technology could match. It didn't warp. It didn't jump. It didn't bend space. It simply moved, like sliding between moments of time. Admirals gasped. Technicians screamed.
Computers malfunctioned everywhere. The Avadi sensors flickered off. The Mechan machines rebooted by force. Krell radars burnt out completely. The galaxy spoke in one voice. This is no Earthship. This is something beyond. But the truth was even worse. It was both. A human ship. With technology nothing human should have. The ship finally slowed near a quiet star system. 3 small alien scout ships drifted nearby. Their commanders whispered nervously. Hold position. Do not shoot. Do not move. But curiosity defeated fear. One scout ship stepped closer. Just a few kilometers. Just to observe. The Leviathan did not react. No lights. No engines. No weapons. So the scout moved closer again. Then again. And then. It vanished. No explosion. No sound. No light. Just gone. The other 2 scouts screamed into comms. It swallowed them. No, space folded. The ship erased them. We are leaving. Now. Their engines roared. They tried to run. But space around them twisted. Gravity bent. Time slowed like thick syrup. They were stuck. The Leviathan never fired. Never opened its weapons. Never moved. But its presence alone crushed the laws of space. The message was clear. Do not approach. Do not touch. Do not test. This was not a ship traveling through space. It was a giant carrying a storm. Boards across the galaxy filled with one question. If humanity built a weapon like this, what happened to the enemies it was meant for? But a deeper question followed, spreading fear everywhere. If this is only one, how many more exist? The Leviathan drifted on. Silent. Untouchable. Awakening. And the galaxy knew. The Leviathan drifted deeper into the star lanes, and the galaxy followed its path in complete silence. No empire dared to fire. No captain dared to move too close. Every species wanted the same thing, to understand why an ancient human warship had returned. But the Leviathan stayed quiet. Too quiet. Across the Krell Dominion Battle Command, Admiral Thorsk leaned over his console, staring at the dark shape on the screen. Has it sent any signals? He growled. His communication officer shook his head. None. Admiral. No words. No warnings. No demands. Thorsk slammed his claw on the table. Then why does it travel through our lanes so openly? What does it want? A young officer swallowed. Sir, it might not want anything. It might simply be passing through. Thorsk hissed. No ship of that size passes through without a reason. Fear made even strong voices crumble. Far across space, inside the floating pearl cities of the Avadi, Elder Loras traced glowing patterns in the air as he studied the Leviathan's movements. It is not random, he whispered. It follows a pattern. A route. Another elder tilted her crystal head. A route? To what? Loras expanded the map. A long path appeared. Straight. Clean. Purposeful. It is heading toward the Galactic Center, he said softly. Toward the old void gates. The ones humans once explored. A cold silence spread between them. The gates were not used anymore. They were dead. Broken. Left behind by lost civilizations. But if the Leviathan was heading there, why? Meanwhile, the Mechan Collective ran countless calculations. Their metal frames hummed with energy as they processed the Leviathan's trajectory. Message probability. High. Objective. Unknown. Human motive. Hidden. One machine finally declared, prepare for first contact. The machines did not fear war, but they feared uncertainty. And the Leviathan was pure uncertainty. Hours passed. Thousands of ships watched. Millions of eyes stared at screens. Then, suddenly, the Leviathan stopped, right in the middle of empty space. No star nearby. No planet. Nothing. Just darkness. The galaxy waited. Every fleet paused. Every station held its breath. Sensors focused tighter. For the first time, the Leviathan moved its external panels. Long, dark plates shifted open along its sides, like giant wings folding apart. Blue veins of light flowed across its armor.
The void trembled with silent pressure. Alien admirals froze.
What is it doing? Is it charging weapons? Is this a threat? But then,
a soft glow formed at the Leviathan's center.
A small sphere. Golden. Quiet. It pulsed once. Then again.
And again, each pulse stronger.
Across command bridges everywhere, officers shouted, "It's a signal! It's broadcasting! Prepare translators!" But when the golden pulse reached the receivers, nothing. No words. No data. Only the same code repeating over and over. Earth code. Human code. No alien could read it. Krell translators failed. Avati crystals cracked. Mechan processors glitched. Zelenar Hive translators sparked and shut down. Whatever message the Leviathan sent, it was meant only for humanity. Inside the Krell command ship, Thorsk stared at the screen, furious. What is this cursed message? Why send something no one can read? His officer whispered, "Sir, maybe we were not meant to read it." Thorsk froze. Not meant to read it? Then who was it meant for? Across the Avati Council chamber, Elder Loras listened again to the strange pulse. "It is not a threat," he whispered. "It is a call." "A call?" the others asked. "Yes," Loras said. "A summoning, a beacon. This ship is calling to something. Or someone." The room fell silent. Because if the Leviathan was calling, what was it calling? Meanwhile, in the machine world of the Mechan Collective, metal minds trembled. Signal origin, Earth. Signal purpose, awakening. Signal target, unknown. Danger level increasing. The machines tried again to decode the message. Again they failed. Translation impossible. Signal locked to human biology. This was no universal broadcast. No diplomatic message. It was a message only humans could hear. Then something terrifying occurred. The Leviathan stopped transmitting the pulse. Its hull dimmed. Its lights faded. And from its dark core, a second signal activated. Low, deep, heavy, like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. Boom, boom, boom. Slow, cold, rhythmic. Alien captains gripped their chairs. Even machines felt pressure in their metal frames. The heartbeat shook the void itself. It was not a sound. It was a force. The Leviathan was waking something inside. Something alive.
Suddenly the Mechan Collective detected a new energy spike.
New message detected. Encoded in ancient Terran symbols. Unknown language variant. Decoding impossible. The message repeated. Every few seconds. Strong. Final. No voice. Just one line of Terran code. But those who saw the symbols felt fear rise inside them. A warning. A countdown. A promise. Something inside the Leviathan was preparing to activate. A final shockwave rippled through space. Powerful enough to knock smaller ships off course. Alien fleets panicked. What is happening? Is it opening? Is something inside escaping? And then, every screen across 1,000 worlds flickered. The Leviathan displayed its message. A simple line of human text. Only one species could read it. And it was enough to shake the future of the galaxy. We are not alone. And we are not coming back alone. The galaxy froze. Because, finally, the Leviathan had spoken. And its message was only the beginning. The Leviathan's message spread like a storm across the galaxy. The words were simple, but the meaning was terrifying. We are not alone. And we are not coming back alone. Every empire felt the same cold truth. Something else was involved. Something the Leviathan had met beyond the dead zone. Something that might be following. But before any species understood the message, a new threat rose. The Leviathan began to wake. Inside the Krell Dominion flagship, alarms screamed. The warship's dark hull brightened with deep blue cracks, glowing like veins spreading across stone. Admiral Thorsk clenched his jaw. What is it doing now? Energy rising, a Krell officer shouted. It's drawing power from the void. From the void.
Thorsk snapped. Nothing can draw energy from empty space. The officer's voice shook.
This one can, sir.
A shaking silence filled the bridge. Far away, the Avadi elders watched beams of light swirl around the ancient warship. Elder Loras traced the glowing energy on his screen. It is activating something inside, he whispered. A younger crystal being stepped forward.
A weapon.
Loras hesitated.
No, not a weapon.
Something deeper.
Something old.
The council chamber dimmed as the Leviathan's energy signature filled their scanners. Elder Loras spoke again, voice trembling for the first time.
This is not power. This is awakening.
In the metal halls of the Mechan Collective, machines spoke in rapid pulses. New energy detected.
Source, internal core.
Warning, power level rising beyond safe limits. One machine warlord calculated the worst-case scenario. Energy readings match ancient cosmic storms, it said. Possibility of universal damage, 39% and rising. Even machines had no idea what the Leviathan was turning on. Alien fleets backed away as the Leviathan's hull cracked open segment by segment. Not breaking. Not damaged. Unfolding. The plates slid outward like the petals of a giant metal flower. Behind them, swirling darkness appeared. An empty, hollow chamber that stretched impossibly deep, far deeper than the size of the ship allowed. It looked like a doorway to somewhere else. Alien captains panicked.
What is that?
A portal.
A weapon core? A prison?
No one knew. The Leviathan pulsed again.
Boom, boom, boom.
Its heartbeat grew louder. Inside the Zelenar swarm, Command Leader Tkron watched the Leviathan center glow with rising energy. He felt instinctive terror, the kind his species hadn't felt for generations.
This ship has something inside, Tkron whispered. Something it brought back from the dark.
Another officer asked, should we prepare to fire?
Tkron hissed. Fire? What? At something the galaxy does not understand? No. We watch. Only watch. But even watching felt dangerous.
The Leviathan's core expanded, revealing a second layer beneath the first. A sphere made of pure white light. The sphere rotated slowly, humming with a sound like ancient whispers. Every translator across the galaxy failed to read it. Every sensor glitched as it drew closer. The Mechan Collective attempted a direct scan. Warning, data corruption. Warning, logic failure. Warning, system reboot required. The machines shut down automatically.
Not because they wanted to.
Because whatever the Leviathan was waking, machines could not survive looking at it. Across space, a faint rumble traveled through the void. Stars flickered. Asteroids cracked. Nebula clouds swirled violently. The Leviathan's awakening was shaking entire star systems. Alien admirals watched helplessly.
What is happening? The ship is altering gravity.
No. It is altering space itself. Nothing could stop it.
And then, for the first time since it appeared,
the Leviathan spoke again. Not with words. Not with text. With a voice.
Deep.
Human. Ancient. A voice that did not come from its speakers, but from the ship's very core. System restored. Memory fragments recovered. Awakening protocol complete. Every species froze.
The Leviathan had intelligence.
Thought. Memory. But the next words were worse. Words no empire expected. We were attacked. We escaped.
We are returning home.
Attacked.
By what?
Alien empires leaned closer to their comm screens. The Leviathan continued. The enemy is still out there. They are searching.
And they will follow. Silence swept across the galaxy. If the Leviathan had run from something powerful enough to damage it,
something strong enough to send a ship this massive fleeing into the void,
then that enemy was beyond anything the galaxy had ever faced.
And the worst part? The Leviathan wasn't done speaking.
The human fleet must be awakened. Prepare the galaxy. They are coming.
Alien commanders shouted at their officers.
Who is coming? What threat? What enemy? But the Leviathan gave no answer. Its core flared so brightly that entire sensor networks fried. The giant ship folded its outer plates inward again. The awakening was complete. What it woke, what it remembered, what it feared, all of it remained inside the glowing sphere in its chest. And the galaxy realized something terrifying. The Leviathan is not coming alone. Something else is coming with it. Part 5 would reveal the first human voice and the truth behind the warning. The Leviathan floated in the dark like a sleeping giant, its awakened core glowing softly, its message still shaking the galaxy. They are coming. Every empire held its fleets in place. Every commander was afraid to speak. Every ship waited for what the Leviathan would do next. They expected another warning. Another pulse. Another message. But what came next was a human voice. Inside the Krell Dominion flagship, a deep vibration passed through the walls. Officers gripped their consoles. Screens flickered with static. "Something is happening," a Krell officer whispered. Admiral Thorsk stared at the Leviathan on the monitor. "Prepare all translators. This might be its next message." But it wasn't a message. It was a voice. Calm. Steady. Human. Terran Fleet Command. This is the Leviathan. If any human vessel receives this transmission, respond. Thorsk's heart sank. Humans? Alive? Awake? If humans answered this signal, the galaxy's balance would collapse. Far across the stars, inside the gentle crystal halls of the Avati, the elders listened in silence. Elder Loras leaned closer to the comm channel. "This is no ghost signal. The voice is real. The speaker is alive." Another elder whispered, "Then humans, they survived out there?" Loras nodded slowly. "And whatever attacked them may be following." Fear spread through the elders like cold dust. The Mechan Collective activated emergency translation nodes. Their metal minds processed the voice at incredible speed. Human vocal pattern confirmed. Identity, unknown. Threat or request, undetermined. Preparing response. But before the machines could reply, the Leviathan spoke again. "This is Captain Elias Warwick of the Terran warship Leviathan. If any allied or human vessel hears this, answer immediately. The threat we escaped is approaching." The machines fell silent. They calculated the voice's age. The results shocked even them. Captain Elias Warwick should have been dead for hundreds of years. Across the Zelenar swarm, insect officers froze mid-step as the voice echoed through their comms. Commander Tkron tilted his head. A human captain, alive inside that ship? The Leviathan should be ancient. How can a human survive for so long? Another officer clicked nervously. "Commander, this is impossible." Tkron stared at the glowing titan on the screen. "There is nothing impossible left," he whispered. The Leviathan continued its broadcast. "We require assistance. We require contact with Earth Command. We require confirmation. Is Earth still standing?" A wave of confusion spread across the galaxy. Was Earth still standing? Had the humans vanished in some unknown event? Had the Leviathan been lost for centuries? The alien empires did not know, and the truth frightened them. Suddenly, the Leviathan changed tone. Its voice sharpened. "To any ship listening, do not approach. Repeat, do not approach. There is something inside the void with us. It follows our energy trail. It tracks our signature. Distance is closing." Alien admirals exchanged horrified looks. Something else was coming. Something powerful enough to chase a ship that could bend reality. The Leviathan wasn't only a warning. It was a survivor. A survivor being hunted. Across thousands of ships, murmurs spread like fire. What enemy could chase that ship? What force can survive the dead zone? What horror is following the humans? But the Leviathan was not finished. Its voice lowered, turning almost sorrowful. "We fought them. We lost many. We escaped only by tearing through the void. Our ship was damaged. We drifted for centuries." Centuries. The captain had survived for centuries? How? The Leviathan explained. "Our ship sustained us. It placed the crew in stasis. kept my consciousness awake. I saw everything. The stars changed. Civilizations rose and fell. But Earth's signal vanished. Every empire leaned closer. If Earth has fallen, the captain said quietly, then humanity has no place left to run. Silence spread through star systems. No one had ever heard a human speak with such fear. Then, alarms blared inside the Leviathan. A harsh tone echoed through every channel. Captain Elias spoke again. Faster now. Warning. The enemy detected our broadcast. They have found us. They are approaching fast. Alien screens flickered with new readings. A massive distortion appeared behind the Leviathan. Not a ship. Not a fleet. A tear in space. As if something was clawing its way out of the void. Elder Loras gasped. By the stars. The Mechan Collective announced. Unknown structure forming. Energy levels rising. Threat level extreme. The Zelenar officers trembled. What did the humans wake up out there? Even Admiral Thorsk, the brutal reptilian commander, whispered. What monster hunts a Leviathan? The tear grew wider. Stars bent around it. Light warped. Gravity loops spiraled outward. The Leviathan's lights brightened as if preparing for a final stand. Captain Elias shouted. All ships stay back. Do not interfere. This enemy does not negotiate. It devours. It consumes. It destroys. Alien forces wanted to run. Wanted to hide. But they couldn't look away. The tear split open completely. Dark tendrils reached out. A shadow crawled from the void. Something colossal began to emerge. The Leviathan aimed all its power forward. Prepare for impact, Captain Elias said. If we fall, the galaxy is next. The void cracked with power. And then, the enemy arrived. The void burned white as the Sovereign Dawn stepped forward. Every sensor in the enemy fleet screamed. Every warning light flashed red. But the warship did not slow. It moved with the calm of something that feared nothing in the universe. Commander Zara stood in the center of the bridge, her eyes fixed on the enemy formation. The alien warships, thousands of them, shifted nervously. Their lines broke. Their walls scattered. Even their bravest captains felt their hands shaking on the controls. It was not because the humans fired first. It was because the aliens finally understood something. Earth had hidden its true strength. And now, the galaxy was seeing it for the first time. A coded pulse shot from the Sovereign Dawn. It was small, almost silent, but its effect was massive. Across the battlefield, Earth's hidden satellites woke up. Silent metal spheres, forgotten by everyone, began to glow. The alien commanders watched in horror as thousands of lights appeared across the void like stars being born. They planted weapons across the stars years ago, whispered an alien general. No, they planted warnings, replied another. The satellites all turned toward the enemy fleet. Then they charged. A soft hum filled space. A glow spread like sunrise. And then, boom. Not an explosion. A wave. A wave of force so powerful that entire enemy squadrons spun out of control. Shields collapsed like glass. Hulls bent. Weapons overheated. Engines died. The aliens could not believe it. This was not normal human firepower. This was something else. Something older. Something prepared long before the galaxy ever touched Earth. Commander Zara did not smile. She simply whispered, "Begin Phase 2. The Sovereign Dawn released a ring of energy around itself. Lines of pale light spread outward, forming a massive circle in the void. The circle expanded, 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 until the enemy fleet was trapped inside it. A cage made of light. A prison the size of a battlefield. The aliens panicked. "We cannot escape," shouted one commander. "The ring is rewriting space," yelled another. "Our warp systems are dead." They were right. Earth had trapped them inside a pocket of controlled space. Inside it, the humans dictated gravity, direction, heat, everything. For the first time, the galaxy understood the truth. Earth had mastered the void. Not conquered it, not controlled it, but understood it in a way no one else ever had. The alien armada could only watch as the Sovereign Dawn charged a second wave. Message was sent across the battlefield. Not a threat. Not a demand. A warning. This battle did not begin with us, Zara said. Earth did not seek war. But you pushed too far, and now you stand inside our shield. The next wave will decide your future. Her voice was calm, but even calmness felt deadly. The enemy leaders stared at each other. Their armies were trapped. Their ships were broken. Their weapons were silent. And the humans had not even used their full strength yet. One alien whispered, almost praying, "How much power does Earth still hide?" No one answered. The ring of light grew brighter. The satellites glowed like burning planets. The Sovereign Dawn aimed its central cannon. Every alien heart froze. Every soldier stopped moving. Every commander stopped breathing. It felt like the universe itself stopped. The void trembled, not because of fear, but because something ancient and unstoppable was about to be released. The next blast could end the battle, or it could end an empire, or it could end the galaxy's balance forever. And that is when Zara gave the final order. Prepare the celestial strike. The bridge lights dimmed. The core ignited. The ship roared like a star being born. The aliens looked on in pure terror, because what they saw next did not look like a weapon. It looked like judgment. The void was silent. The alien fleet trembled inside the light cage. Their ships dripped damage. Engines sputtered. Weapons melted down. And at the center, the mighty warship, the Sovereign Dawn, glowed brighter than many stars. Commander Zara stood on the bridge. Her face was calm, eyes sharp. She looked out at the broken armada trapped in the ring of light. Then she lowered her voice, firm and clear. "This is your final choice," she said. "Accept peace and leave this zone, or face final judgment." Her words echoed through thousands of ships, through galactic comms, through trembling hulls. No one spoke. No one dared. From the Sovereign Dawn's core, a beam of pale white energy gathered. The ring of light compressed, focusing inward. The satellite spread across space glowed brighter. Then the beam fired, cut through the void. It shone across broken shields, damaged hulls, frozen engines. But it did not explode. It did not destroy. It cleansed. A wave of energy swept through the enemy fleet. Hulls cracked, but not from fire. Sensors fried, but not from blasts. Engines died, but not from impact. Instead, time itself inside the ring slowed. Moments stretched. Colors bled. Machines shivered. Ships drifted, unable to act. Alien captains looked at their consoles, blank. Their crews stared at silent panels. The Leviathan's last message had not been a threat. It had been an offer, a chance to leave. The strike was a warning, a final test. From the outer ships, small crafts began to emerge. Forsaken, broken, meek. Alien flags replaced with white markers of surrender. Hails echoed on open comm channels. One by one, alien commanders stepped forward. One by one, they declared submission. One by one, they surrendered. The fleets that once threatened entire species now drifted like shattered leaves on wind. Commander Zara watched the surrender feed on her screen. She exhaled slowly. "Set warp for safe zones," she ordered. "Begin rescue protocols. Aid any survivors willing to surrender." Around her, her officers, human and allied, nodded. The galaxy held its breath as alien forces pulled back. The unknown regions of space trembled. From the waves of deep dark came pods, ships, beacons blinking alive. Across the void, from old human colonies lost to time, vessels emerged. Ships cloaked, scrapped, hidden. All answered the Leviathan's call. The human fleet returned. Not with guns blazing. Not with hate. With banners of peace. With hands raised. With eyes wide, but calm. For centuries, humanity had hidden. They had built, they had explored, they had scattered across unreachable regions. They had faced enemies that broke the laws of physics. They had lost many. But now, the hidden Terran fleet stood again. Massive, advanced, silent. And it mattered. Because where humans stood, power stood. And where humans spoke, Caution spoke, and the halls of alien capitals, in the council chambers and war rooms, a single message spread. Humanity returned. They are powerful. They are awake. No empire dared defy them. No fleet dared threaten them. No creature hungry for war dared approach known space. Peace treaties formed. Borders were redrawn. Trade lanes reopened. Former adversaries shook hands. Former enemies built dialogues. The void once haunted by fear and suspicion turned quiet. Calm. A fragile calm, but calm. On board the Sovereign Dawn, Commander Zara stood before the great viewport. She watched the human fleet gather. Warships, scout ships, rescue frigates, silent beacons. She whispered softly, almost to herself. We did not come to conquer. We came to survive. We did not come to destroy. We came to warn. We did not come back to rule. We came back so that others may live. Far in the dark chamber below, the glowing sphere, the heart of the Leviathan, pulsed once more. It held memories of battles lost, worlds burned, adrift centuries in the void. And now it held hope. Hope that Earth's return would reshape the galaxy in quiet sectors. Alien children looked up at alien skies. They asked their elders, "Who are the Terrans? Why did they return?" Elder voices answered gently, "They are survivors. Once lost. Long gone. Now here again." In human quarters, old veterans looked at the stars and nodded. Some closed their eyes. Some clenched fists. Some just stared, silent. All of them knew. Nothing would be the same again. The Leviathan had come back. The Terran fleet had awakened. And the galaxy, wide, wild, endless, had changed forever.